Please allow me to seduce you with this spicy, numbing mala oil. It will tickle your tongue, it will wake up your senses, and it will add a playful dimension to your food. Now, I know you can see a ton of different ingredients on the table. I don't want you to be intimidated. I'll walk you through each step of the way, and I promise you, at the end of the day, you'll have something that you can definitely be proud of.
So here is a breakdown of what I think makes a good mala oil. So let's tackle them one by one. And if you stay to the end, we'll also learn about temperature control so we can get the best out of our oil.
Let's start with our Szechuan peppercorns. Here I have both red and green Szechuan peppercorns. The rule of thumb is the red is for the flavor and the green is for the numbing sensation. If you don't like the numbing sensation or if you just can't find any green Szechuan peppercorns, then don't be afraid to replace it completely with the red ones. Now we want our Szechuan peppercorns to be nice and fresh, so we're going to place them into a wok, we'll heat them over medium-low and stir it around just for a few minutes until it's nice and perfumed.
Here I'm using about 20 grams of red Szechuan peppercorns to 10 grams of green Szechuan peppercorns. So you know what to do, heat up your Szechuan peppercorns, let them dance and their aromas fly. Of course, pay attention to the heat because it can only break your heart if it burns. So let's fry up our Szechuan peppercorns until you can smell their crisp essential oils.
Now I don't know whether you can see this on camera, but from where I'm standing, I can see little oil blotches being left behind on the wok by the Szechuan peppercorns. That means they're ready and we can take them off. Okay, now we'll need our trusty pestle and mortar. We're going to place our Szechuan peppercorns in and we're going to pound and grind them. Just by toasting the Szechuan peppercorns, I can already smell the difference. Now it's time to roll up your sleeves and really get in there. If there's anything bugging you and you're stressed out, this is a great way to get it out. As usual, you don't have to be perfect. Once you get a nice coarse dust like this, you're done.
For the heat, I'm using about 80 grams of chili flakes. If perchance you're feeling inspired, you can always purchase your own dried chilies and ground them out on your own. What you lose in terms of convenience, I'm sure you'll gain in flavor and probably heat as well.
If you're terrible with spice, I'm sorry to hear that, but here are some suggestions. You can just lower the amount of chilies that you use or try to find chilies with a lower level of capsaicin. Now for the rest of our spices, we're going to need cinnamon stick, bay leaves, star anise, cloves, Szechuan peppercorns, black cardamon seeds, and Chinese licorice roots. Now I know we already prepared some Szechuan peppercorns by toasting and pounding them earlier, but we still want just a little bit of whole Szechuan peppercorns to infuse into oil. This amount is not really enough to give that numbing sensation, it's there just to really give a nice floral note.
Now, Szechuan peppercorns is probably the most important ingredient in this recipe, and you're likely to be able to find this in your favorite Asian grocer. But if you can't find any of the other spices, you're perfectly excused to leave them out. That said, you're probably able to find ingredients such as bay leaves, cinnamon sticks, cloves, and star anise even in the West, so you should have no problem there.
Now this is part of my mala food series where I teach you how to make all sorts of different mala dishes, and it's meant to be used with my mala mustard sauce. With my mala mustard sauce and this mala oil, you can unlock a ton of different mala recipes on the fly within the comforts of your own kitchen.
I'll leave a link to the mala mustard sauce below, but do check out the rest of the channel for the ever-growing catalogue of mustard sauces and other recipes. Now we really want the maximum amount of flavor we can get in our oil, so we're not done just yet.
To give our oil a nice aromatic aroma, you'll need some onions, spring onions and ginger. We are going to fry them in the oil, so make sure you get them as dry as you can. For our onions, let's divide them into half and give them a rough chop. For ginger, we need a knob about 2 to 3 cm's worth, and I'm going to slice them into slices just like this. And for our spring onions, let's just divide them into sticks that are about 2 to 3 cm's long. Just place all your aromatics together, and now we can head to the wok.
So pour about 1 3/4 cups of vegetable oil into a wok, and don't you dare waste a single drop.
Get every drop out, don't waste it. And now for the aromatics, in.
Once your aromatics are in, we're going to turn up the heat and gently coax out all that flavor. Timing wise, we'll fry our aromatics for about 8 to 10 minutes before we add our spices and give it another 8 to 10.
At the start, to get things going, you can use a larger flame, but once it's a little bit hotter, just turn down the heat. Okay, now I can see bubbles forming in the wok. It's time to turn down the heat to a medium-low. So the thing about aromatics is that we don't want them to burn because that will impart a bitter flavor into the oil. So once they turn into a darker shade of brown, take them off the heat because in a split second, they can burn on you.
So let this bubble away as you allow the flavors to develop.
Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. The aromatics are just starting to brown. It's time to add our spices. Let's give this another 8 to 10 minutes.
From the halfway mark, you notice that your aromatics are starting to brown as they lose their moisture.
I always love how this looks on camera. The colors really pop. At this stage, the aromatics have turned into a medium shade of brown. I'm not going to walk away because I'm going to pay extra attention and not let it burn.
So while this is a very easy recipe, your vigilance is still required.
Okay, it's been about 17 minutes. The aromatics have turned into a darker shade of brown. We'll get a slotted spoon, and in a minute or so, we'll take everything out.
Once your aromatics look just like this, it's time to take them out.
Now the thing about the aromatics is, even though it's not burnt yet, there's a lot of residual heat in the oil. So even if you turn off the heat, it can still burn on you in the flash.
As your oil can be trapped in the aromatics, make sure you squeeze them all out. Now, take a look at your oil. You want to make sure it's as clean as can be, so if you see any sediments, make sure you filter them out.
Now that the oil is clean, it's time for us to infuse this with the chili peppers and the Szechuan peppercorns that we toasted and pounded earlier. Because we don't want to burn the chili peppers, we're going to break it up into 3 batches.
This technique is known as 一香二红三辣. This means that the first pass is for the fragrance, the second is for the color, and the third is for the spice. The first 4 should be between 180 degrees to 190 degrees Celsius to get that fragrance out. The second pour should be about 150 degrees Celsius and it will help to pull out the carotenoids, which helps to give the oil its red and orange color. The third and final pour should be at about 120 degrees Celsius. This helps to preserve the aromatic compounds in the chilies, which would otherwise burn off at a higher heat.
Now let's get a large heat-proof bowl and place our chili peppers and Szechuan peppers in. Okay, let's go. Yes.
Give everything a good mix and return back to your wok and heat it up to about 180 degrees Celsius. Once ready, we'll pour about 1/3 of the oil into the bowl and enjoy the sizzle.
Mix it around together to allow all the flavors to infuse. Okay, that was just the first pass and already all the aromatic flavors are just singing and pushing themselves out of the bowl.
Once your oil has cooled down to around 150 degrees Celsius, we'll pour in another 1/3 of the oil.
Wow, this looks so cool. Oh. Okay, that was the second pass. Now we'll give the oil a little bit more time to cool down. We'll do the third pass and then we're done. Oh, the bowl is warm, so be careful with the oil, it's still very hot. Don't forget it.
Once your remaining oil cools down to be around 120 degrees Celsius, we'll pour the remaining third.
Now let's take a look at what we've made. This is a spicy mala Szechuan oil. Oh, it looks so good on camera. Now the oil has cooled down, it's time to bottle it up. So give it a good mix before you do, to make sure everything is nice and evenly distributed. With a ladle, just pour it into a nice mason jar. Okay, our spicy numbing mala oil is done. It's time for the taste test. I know there'll be a kick and I absolutely love it. The spice aroma just coats my mouth. I can smell all the notes of ginger and spring onions. It gives a nice level of body, so it's just not about the spice and the numbing sensation. There's a real aromatic profile as well. Okay, this is quite potent, so be careful. Of course, the chili spice is just there. It's tickling my tongue, and the numbing sensation is just coming through from the Szechuan peppercorns from the back of my throat, and it's actually really nice if you like it. This is going to be so great on noodles, on meats and tofu, and right in the background, very subtly you can taste the other spices that we added, like the cloves and the sour anise. I mean, just gives that distinctive Szechuan mala profile. All that's left to do now is to bottle this up and to use this in your recipes. So with this spicy numbing mala oil, I'm going to challenge you to make a few mala dishes with me. So the question is, are you ready?